Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video made by me. My name is Tess Bloxam. It is so nice to meet you. If we haven't met before, pretend I'm shaking your hand. And if you're back, then what's up? Another video, another day. I don't know what I'm saying. Next part. So I am always struggling with this. This is something that I'm always trying to work towards, but that is fighting overconsumption, because lately it has become so normalized, and there seems to be two different types of people on the internet. There's the people who consume way too much stuff, do crazy, just way overconsumption. And then we have people who are constantly being like, guys, stop this. Like, we can't keep doing this, because you don't need a 10-step skincare routine. You don't need any of that kind of stuff. There are some things that you do need, but you don't need to buy it all the time. You don't need to constantly be getting new ones. And so I kind of wanted to go through and just like talk about some things that like I've noticed in like the last few days, just throughout my life, of things that like I just realized that I just don't need to buy new ones, and you don't really have to either. Like, you just stop overconsumption. And I have made previous videos on this a bit. I did one that was like de-influencing you, like things like products that I've bought because I was influenced to buy them, didn't end up liking them at all, so I would go check that out. And then I also have one that is just talking about overconsumption in general, and just like the morning sheds and all that kind of stuff. I do a little bit of a deeper dive on that. This one I'm kind of going to be more surface level and just like, you don't need this product and here's why. So let's get into it. So the first thing that I have on my little list here that I cooked up literally minutes ago is an abundance of skincare products. Now, of course, I am not talking about people who have certain like skin conditions or skin needs that they need this like certain skin product. Like, I use some like kind of retinoid-ish cream on my skin that helps with like some acne. I totally understand using that. What I mean is that people who have like 3 different toners, 4 vitamin C things, like literally a gajillion billion step skincare routine, and it's kind of insane because it's not actually helping your skin. Something that my mom always taught me since I was a kid, and especially like once I started doing my skincare, like when I got into like my teenage years, when like, you know, hormones and whatnot is making your skin go crazy, was that less is always more. I realized that in times when I was putting so much product on my face, where like I would cleanse it with a super harsh cleanser, and then I would go and I would put on like hyaluronic acid. I don't know what I'm talking about, honestly. I do a little bit, but not that much. Hyaluronic acid, and then like some of this stuff is good stuff for your skin. Like, hyaluronic acid is good. It definitely helped my skin. But then I'd go and I'd put that, and then I'd put on like a toner and all this kind of stuff. And it just like, it doesn't make that much of a difference. The thing is that skin is going to be skin at the end of the day. Of course, we want to make it appear and look as good as we want, because that's just like beauty standards and whatnot. But at the end of the day, our skin is always going to appear in a certain way. Like, I will never be able to completely get rid of acne. I will never be able to completely get rid of discoloration and like parts of my skin that maybe I'm not the happiest with. But the thing is that skin health should be prioritized, and I think sometimes that's put to the side when wanting to just focus on like minimizing pores and getting rid of discoloration and all that kind of stuff. And of course, without even really having to say it, morning sheds are just so wasteful. I follow this one guy on TikTok. Why did I say that? I don't even have TikTok. I follow this one guy on Instagram. There we go. And he is a professional dermatologist. And he watches these videos of people doing like their morning shed routines or their like 10,000 step skincare routine. And he talks about how the overconsumption of them is like, you don't need to have disposable like face pads that you throw away afterwards. You don't need to put a face mask on every night. That's just so wasteful, and it just is such the highest degree of overconsumption in my opinion. And it's a good way for him to raise awareness of this fact that like these current trends to like push like morning sheds and whatnot are just literally shoving overconsumption in your face and being like, do this, you should do this, do it. And you just simply don't need to. I literally wash my face with a cleanser at night, then put on a moisturizer, and then sometimes I put on my like acne treatment thing and then put more moisturizer on top as like a sandwich. In the mornings, I literally wash my face with water and put on moisturizer and sunscreen. And of course, I'm speaking, that's for my specific skin. Of course, my skin, no one else in the world has my specific skin type, and it fluctuates and all that kind of stuff. So of course, I'm not being like, just do what I do and you'll have skin like me, because that's not how it works, and I know that. But using 10 different sheet masks every morning is not going to do anything, and it's simply just being incredibly wasteful. My second thing that I wanted to just be like, you don't need to get that, is new pencils and markers and just a ton of new school supplies for every single new school year. This is something that I always see a lot, and that I was really like warped into going into my first year of college, which I'm in right now, was watching all these influencers and all this kind of stuff do like their like back to school shopping, and they would buy like a whole new set of highlighters, a whole new set of pencils, a whole new set of pens. And it's like, you don't need that. You really don't need that, because I guarantee you that there are pencils and pens and markers and colored pencils and all the kind of stuff that you need already at your home, and you just wanted to buy more because these look prettier, or because like you want to do it for views because you are an influencer. And I understand that not everybody does that. That's like kind of more of an influencer thing, because also they tend to sometimes be the ones who have the money to afford that kind of stuff. But I definitely just could not imagine going out and buying like a whole new set of highlighters. Also, I never use highlighters, so like what would I be using it for? And maybe that's just me like having to do with what major I'm doing, but it's like I don't use that very often. And honestly, in college, I do 99% of my work on this computer, which costs enough and is not working right now. So yeah, my computer's being really glitchy, but that's not the point. You don't need all new stationery. Of course, if you need a new notebook because you used up all of the pages in your notebook, go and buy a new notebook. I'm not being like, reuse the pages, erase them all and reuse them. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not that insane. But here, let me just show you like what my like pencils and pens pouch is contained of. I gotta go get it. So this is my pencil pouch. It's this super cute one with, I think, Jane Austen on it. It was my mom's and she gave it to me, which was super sweet. I love her. I haven't read a ton of Jane Austen, but my mom absolutely adores her, so that's why it's that. But yeah, handed down to me from my mom. I've had this been using this for like 2 years. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Anyway, so I have some basics in here. These pens, I got these for my art class back in like sophomore year, and I still have them, and I use them to like annotate books and draw sometimes. It's super fun and cool. And then let's see what else I have in here. This is my most prized possession. Not really, but I love it. This pencil, which is starting to break, if you can't tell, like it's literally like deteriorating. I picked this up off the floor at the end of my sophomore year of high school. Found it randomly on the floor, picked it up. Haven't lost it since. I don't know how I haven't lost it. It's actually quite brilliant. But she is literally my favorite pencil. Whenever I use it, I use her for everything. She's so cute and adorable, and she's pink kind of, and she works perfectly, and I just refill the lead, and I don't have to buy new pencils. I have not bought a new set of pencils in like years. So yeah, this Expo marker, never use it, but I have one just in case. I actually did use it once last quarter, but yeah, I've had her for a little bit too. And then I have this one Sharpie. Once again, I think I've had this for like 5 years. Not even joking. Because you know what? If you don't leave them uncapped, they don't run out. Crazy, I know. I then have a bunch of these like pens. My mom bought like a whole thing of like little, like a bulk thing of pens. And then once again, they don't run out unless you leave them uncapped or you lose them. So I just, I have like, I think like 10 of them in here, all with varying levels of ink left and all that. And then I have these like colored pencil, kind of like pencil things that my mom bought me, which I use for like coloring or sometimes to make my notes more pretty. And then literally everything else in here. I think most of the pencils in here are broken, but sometimes I like take the lead out of them and reuse them for other things, or all that kind of stuff. I have so many little lead containers. But honestly, yeah, in college, barely ever use my pencil. I think I've only used them on tests and for like one assignment, because most stuff is online, which I like, but also like I do kind of miss writing, but it definitely saves paper and all that kind of stuff, But yeah, that was a little tour of my little stationery bag, which I'm struggling to close with one hand now. There we go, I did it. But she's cute, and she's functional, and she works, and I'm reusing something and not adding to waste, because pencils are, especially plastic, like pencils, why am I forgetting the name? I don't know. They're made of plastic, and that is bad for the environment. So if you can reuse stuff, reuse it. Yes, reuse it. Okay, this is now getting into more like bigger things that I know people have talked about all the time. Like all the people who are against overconsumption and constantly talk about it on their platforms, in videos, definitely always touch upon these things. But the next thing I have is getting a whole new wardrobe for each season. And this is something that you definitely have to be affluent in order to afford, because it's not like, for people who aren't very, very rich, it is definitely hard to afford a new wardrobe for each season, because like all the trends on Instagram or TikTok and all these kind of things, you're like, what's in this season? And it's like this specific trend or brand of clothes, and people need to go and buy it immediately. But the thing is that trends don't last very long because they're trends. So we end up getting rid of those, throwing them away. I mean, clothes is one of the largest like things in the world that is creating the most waste. Like you can look up like the clothes like that get dumped in third world countries that they then have to deal with, because first world countries are kind of fucked up like that. You don't need new clothes for every season. I definitely understand, like, of course you're not going to wear your puffer jacket in the summer, but that's why you have winter clothes, and why during the summer you put those away and then you take them back out for next winter. That's why, in my opinion, it's good to like invest some money in buying quality clothes that you know you're going to reuse and rewear, because then in the long run you get more use out of it. I ran into the problem during high school a lot that I would see something that was a trend and not immediately, because I wasn't on top of trends that much, but I would go and try and buy it as soon as I possibly could. And I would buy it and it would be cute, but then either the material was not very good. I never bought from Shein, but I know that's like the biggest thing with Shein is they use child labor. They're just awful. They take so much advantage of their workers. They don't pay them. It's literally child labor. I already said that. And their clothes are very low quality. That's why they're so cheap, is because they're not paying the people that are making them, and the quality is just so bad. Like those clothes will deteriorate on you. That's what I've heard. But I would buy clothes from stores that were like cheaper, and it's like, yes, I understand buying cheap. Like if you don't have the money, that's what you have to do, because that's how it works. Like you can't just magically make money appear. But in the long run, sometimes it does save you a bit of money to like go and buy that pair of jeans that might be a little bit more expensive, but they're good quality and they work, and you know you're going to wear them a lot, because then you're not going to have to buy like 4 new pairs of jeans in the next few years, because the first pair you bought that were cheaper and not as good quality weren't as good. But I definitely just don't understand the whole fact of like buying new clothes for each season, because I get it that like some clothes you wear in fall aren't like in trend or like super stylish in the summer. But that's why you can kind of like put things in your closet and then not take them back out. Like I have some shirts that I won't wear in the winter, but I'll wear in the summer, but I don't throw them away in the winter. You know, you just put them in your closet and then you take it out. And I know that like places like Goodwill and all that kind of stuff, you can go and give your clothes, and then people have a chance to then go look through them and then see if they want to buy them, which I think is great. But the thing is that Goodwill has said this multiple times, that a lot of the clothes that they do get, they end up having to throw out, and then it's just, once again, adding to the waste on this planet. So I definitely support thrifting. Go find clothes, because I guarantee the clothes that you want are already out there. And if you do want to buy new clothes, invest in something that you know you're going to buy. Like if you think like, oh, I'll wear this, but I don't know if I'll wear it all the time, it's not worth it then. It's just not worth it, because trust me, I've made that choice, and it's like, you know, it's not worth it. Anyway, speaking of this shirt, it's not even a shirt. It's like a sweater, coat, jacket, but I wear it like kind of as a shirt. I have a shirt underneath this, but it has a hole in it. Like, look at that hole. But I still wear it, and I thrifted this. Didn't know there was a hole in it when I thrifted it, but whatever. I thrifted it, and it's cute, and I like it, and it was $5. And it's cozy, and maybe it's not the most stylish thing ever, but I'm comfortable in it, and I like to wear it, and it's a nice color, and I get use out of it. So it was a worthy purchase. And for the final thing that I have on here, you don't need to go buy new plates and dishware from like IKEA and whatnot. Especially people who buy like the from Target, like the like plastic like dishes and like Tupperware, which is like Tupperware is good, like reuse. Yes, reuse. But it's the new plates that gets me a lot, where it's like, if you've ever been to a Goodwill or like an antique store or anything like that, you will see that like the plate section has so many, because people will get rid of plates and then they'll just go there and they'll sit, and some of them are beautiful and amazing. Like personally, I can't wait to get like my own place, my own like apartment or house, because as soon as I do that, then I can go and find plates that have value, that are cute, that have character to them and aren't just like plain white slabs, if that makes any sense. And of course, you once again, if they're like really bad quality that you're getting from Goodwill, then maybe it's not worth purchasing, because then you're not going to get a lot of use out of them. That's something for me that, if you couldn't tell from what everything I've said so far, is that like I base things off of like how much use I'm going to get out of them. Like if I buy a pair of jeans, I want to get good use out of them and not just wear them like 3 times. Same for dishes and makeup and pens and pencils and all this kind of stuff. If something you think is only going to last you a few wears, or you're only going to use it a few times, then I honestly don't think that it's worth it to put the planet through all that just so that you can use something a few times and then get bored of it. But yeah, new plates, go look at the plates in Goodwill. The dishware, the spoons, and I know like people are like, ew, I don't want to use the spoons someone else has used. You literally use the spoon and then you wash it, and then it's clean. Just go home and wash it. Like, I've used spoons that my family members have used, I mean, after they've been washed, but you know, like, you're never gonna, like, things can be washed, things can be brought back to life. Reuse, reuse, reuse. Anyway, if any of you have any other ideas of things that you just simply don't need to buy and that you can either reuse, or things that you think are just way over pushed in your face to buy from influencers, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions and feelings. And yeah, I hope that this helps some people with trying to figure out what to buy or what not to buy, because honestly, you don't need to buy these things. And I hope that we can all just keep working towards a better environment, helping the world, trying to reduce pollution and everything that's happening. There's so many problems in the world right now, and there are so many things that we can help do that will bring about positive change. So let's do it together. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I have had such a fun time making it once again. And if you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe, like, comment, and same thing if you've been here before, if you're already subscribed, so that wouldn't make any sense. But like and comment. And thank you so much for all your support. I love this channel, and I love making videos and editing them and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for your support. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.